Uh, Now we explain the past simple. Of course, we start as usual with the form. For this verb, it doesn't matter which subject is. So I mean that means it doesn't matter whether it's I or he or she or plural or singular, because all of them, well, that does not change the verb. So all of them take the verb in the second form or in the second conjugation, or the verb plus ed if it's regular. So as you can see, its second form, something like went, not go, bought, not buy. So when we have take talk, we need talk. See so, we need to use so. Or plus ed like walk, walked, play, played, and so on. For these verbs that we change, we call them irregular verb. We use the second conjugation. But for the verbs that we just add d or ed or id, we call them a regular verb. Regular verb. So this one that we change the verb completely is called irregular. That one which just requires ed to change it into the past, we call them regular verbs. Of course, you must try to keep the list of the irregular verbs by heart. I have uh, posted a video, a song for that earlier. Well, when the verb ends in e, we just add d, like live. The past is lived. But when the verb ends in consonant, we just add the ed, like walk, walked. When the verb ends in a vowel, then y, the y that comes after vowel, we say it's protected. We don't change it. So we just add ed. We don't change the y. Like stay, stayed, enjoy, enjoyed, play, played. But when it's a y that comes after a consonant, a y after r or l or whatever, we drop this y, remove it, and add ied instead. Like cry, cried. But when it's a vowel, then one consonant, like stop or commit. In these verbs, we can see stop is monosyllabic, and commit is diasyllabic. Well, in both cases, we're gonna double the last letter. But why in here we double it? Just because the stress was at the end of the verb. That's why we double it. But of course, with monosyllabic verbs, we always double the last letter, the last consonant letter. Double the consonant like that. Stopped and committed. Stopped. By the way, when we add ed to something voiceless, to a voiceless sound, like stop, the past is stopped, stopped, not stopped. You don't pronounce it as d. And also, if you could hear walk, walked, not walked, walked. But here is said. We the sound of the d is clear, but without, of course, the e. Cry, cry. That should be easy. The keywords for the past simple: once, last, yesterday, in the past, ago, one day. We used to keep it as a song. Once, last, yesterday, in the past, ago, one day. Once, last, yesterday, in the past, ago, one day. Second verb or ed. If you remember that song that we used to sing in the class. Once, last, yesterday, in the past, ago, one day. Second verb or ed. That, of course, second verb, that means the second conjugation or the second form for the irregular verb, just to make it short, or the verb plus ed or ied and so on. Well, I want to draw your attention to something else also. Once. Well, we use that with the present simple, but when it was once a week, once each year, once a month. But here in this example, this once means one time, one day in the past, not once every year or once every week. So this is completely different from once that we use with the present simple. And of course, this once is not followed by something like each year, once a year. It's just like that, once. Once there was a man, once upon a time, and so on. That tells that we should use past simple. Now let's move with the past simple for the negative and question. The negative, as I told you, all the verbs or the subjects, I'm sorry, take the same verb, did not, plus the infinitive. Of course, when we have did, the verb goes back to the infinitive, to the stem verb, to the base form. Of course, you can uh, abbreviate that. The contraction is didn't plus the infinitive. Of course, without the ed or ied or the. And also, if it was a past form of the irregular verb, it goes back to the infinitive. Example: she worked. She didn't work. I spoke loudly. That's the second conjugation of an irregular verb. I did not speak. You can see here we remove the ed, but in this one we change it back into the main verb, sorry, to the infinitive verb. He cried. He did not cry. The ied, change it back into the y. Making questions. We start with did if we're going to make a yes no question. When we answered yes I did, yes he did, or no he didn't, no she didn't, no they didn't, and so on. So when you start with did, of course you must have the answer with yes or no. WH did, that's subject and verb, and of course the rest of the sentence. But in this case, of course, you're going to remove a part of the sentence. That should be the answer of the WH word. Example: yes, I studied math. The question: did you study math? Of course, you know that we change it into you, my, your, uh, mine, yours, and so on. We, our, and us, it's possible to change them or not. That depends on the meaning. No, he didn't call. Did he call? She visited Luxor. The question here cannot start with did, because here there was yes or no to make a yes no question. But in this case, we remove Luxor and use what. What did she visit? She went to the zoo. Where did she go? He did his homework at 9. When did he do his homework? I was at home all day. Keep in mind that was here is a past form, of course. This is the second conjugation, but it still works as a helping verb. So you don't need did for this case. So, where were you all day? Keep in mind also that I was changes back into were you, because I changed it into you, so I cannot use was with you. It would be where. Okay, some practice. Let's correct this. Carl Benz invented the car in 1885. It should be 1886 when the car came was ready, but he started in 1885 anyhow. So the answer is invented. She be ill when I visited her. She was. He met my brother 2 days ago. He met. My dad sell his car last year. So to be sold. People catch animal for food in the past. Animals actually. Catch, caught. One day there be an old man. One day, that's like once. So there was. I carry my sister bag. My sister's bag because she was tired. So I carried. منا